Hello, welcome to our same time webinar today. And we're so delighted to have you, and we are expecting to cover a lot of ground in a little bit of time. And as you'll see from the title, we're really talking about uncovering the latest advances in collaboration using Sametime. That's really what this is about. And as many of you who may use Sametime know, over the last year or so, we've made a lot of advancements and improvements in the Sametime, both in the amount of features for users and the new admin controls that are there. And I also would like to mention that we will take your questions at the end. We would really appreciate if you would write your questions in. There's a question box, and if you write those, some of those we can actually answer in advance, and we'd love to have you do that. The other thing I'd like to mention to you is that we have a 3-question survey when you leave the webinar. We'd appreciate a little bit of feedback so we can make improvements in the future. And so I'd like to introduce Guinea Sayani, and Guinea is the product manager for Sametime. My name is Dan Allen. I'm the product marketing manager for Sametime. And Guinea and I have partnered to put the information together today, and we're really excited to have you here. So Guinea, take it away.
Sounds good. Thank you, Dan. Hello, everybody. As Dan mentioned, my name is Guinea Sayani. I'm the product manager for Sametime, and happy to be talking to all of you today about our journey with Sametime, what we have done with our latest release, how can you use it for your whole organization. And I hope everybody is healthy. Thank you for joining today. Let's jump in. Okay, so before we get started on talking about our latest release, let's just talk about sort of the state of the union here, right, with the conferencing systems. What is it that is on everybody's mind when we talk about video conferencing, when we talk about chat, the whole collaboration platform? Lots of us, right, when we use different apps, different platforms every day for meetings and chat, there's lots that happens in those meetings. Lots of security, privacy, control questions come to mind. Every day you see it on this slide. We pulled the latest exploitations, right, that are reported out there with lots of video conferencing and chat platforms. Things are getting data mined. There is a lot of security vulnerabilities reported. Again, all that puts your stuff at risk here when you use different video meetings and chat platforms. So that's, again, on our top of mind when what we are doing with Sametime, when we are building various features, capabilities in the product. Now, another slide I do want to show you here is lots of numbers out there, right? We pulled a couple numbers that you see here, and these are huge numbers. This tells me the security and privacy, again, is top of mind for everybody, whether you are a user, you might be an admin, you might be a C-level executive of an organization looking for a secure platform for all your employees. There are a lot of us out there where security and privacy is top of our mind, right? All of us want to protect the data, protect the privacy, the confidentiality of everything that we do, all our businesses that we do on video conferencing these days. And again, nothing new here, right? What I do want to remind everybody is, which I know is on, again, a lot of yours mind already, right? What happens when data breaches happen, there's tons of losses, reputation damage, a lot of fines. Of course, with the data theft, your data is all out there, right? A lot of that puts you at risk, your business at risk, when you use platforms that are not secure, that are not private. Now, talking about security and privacy, right? So how does Sametime help? I do want to show you what we call our positioning statement with Sametime here. Our tagline is, it's your meetings, your data, it's lower TCO, it's double the value you get from Sametime. It is a secure and private video meetings and chat platform, and we keep our focus on developing a business user experience, right? So our focus is obviously, as a business user, what do you need? What would you like for a secure and private collaborative platform, which could be as confidential as you want, or it could be as collaborative, as open as you like. We have built it fully cloud native, which means you can, if you want fully on-prem, you have no internet access, you can deploy same time and make it fully on-prem. Or maybe you want it on a private cloud somewhere. It is fully cloud native that gives you all those capabilities. And all while it assures that your confidentiality, your data is protected with the lower TCO. And we'll talk more about how we have lowered the TCO even more with our latest release here. The stuff we have done in terms of deployment, admin utilities, all those great things with our Sametime 12.0.1, which is our IFL release. So again, talking about what Sametime does, what our goals are, and still remain with every release, what we do with Sametime. The three things that I put in place here for Sametime strategy, right? When we talk about what is it that we want to do with the product, we want to. This is a collaboration platform we are building, right? So we do want to make it fully customizable, fully flexible. In our minds, it's one of those things where one size doesn't fit all, right? We have our end users, we have our admins. Every organization has specific requirements in terms of policies, whether it's user policies, group policies, in terms of configuration settings. All that is built into our product where you can tailor it to your needs, whether it's your end users who need specific settings enabled, whether it's your admin who wants some policies set for specific users. All that is possible with Sametime based on your requirements. Again, deployment is also your choice. As we talked before, it could be fully fledged on-prem, it could be private cloud, you can do some sort of hybrid model as well. It's all up to you. And I do want to highlight APIs here, which we'll talk a lot more about too in the next few slides here as well. We introduced our API platform with version 12, which was released back in April, and I'm sure many of you are already using that. And with our 12.01 release, we have expanded it even more, where we have added a lot more interfaces, a lot more APIs to our existing platform. And we plan to do so with our upcoming releases as well. So that gives you a way to embed chat and meetings experience as a whole in your apps. Perhaps you're building an app, perhaps you have an application that needs those chat and meeting capabilities plugged into your web pages. All that is possible with APIs and even more. Plus TCO, again, TCO always is top of our mind. We want to provide you a platform that is giving you the lower total cost of ownership possible. So that remains our goal with every release as well. So the three things that we, again, focused on with Sametime 12 and now with Sametime 12.01 is privacy and security of your meetings, where you as a host, you as an attendee, you as an admin, you are making those security decisions every time you start a meeting, before you start a meeting, during the meeting, after the meeting ends. What do you want to share from the meeting? With whom do you want to share, right? Do you want to share recording with attendees or not? All that stuff is up to you as a host, or what you want to show it to your attendees before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. The TCO piece, again, we've done, we'll talk more about what we've done in IFL. We've done a lot of things in terms of addressing TCO. Lots have been done around the recorder nodes for IFL release. We'll talk about that as well. As well as from the end user experience, we have added more and more capabilities to customize your meeting experience. Whether it's pre-join page, we've added a lot of enhancements on that. We have an Outlook add-in, and we've added a whole lot of enhancements around the Outlook add-in, where you can create your Sametime meeting straight from your Outlook calendar as well. So on that theme, what you see here is sort of our key user features that we have brought along in this journey with 12 and now 1201. And I don't expect you to read all this right now, but the few things I do want to highlight from here, what we are giving you as features and what benefits you get from those features, right? So again, a lot of these were delivered with 12. We had things like meeting modes, we had meeting reports, we had waiting room, a lot of key features that were delivered with 12, and we are enhancing and expanding those features with things like watch support now. We have conversation filters where you can easily find your chats. We have Safari support that we have added. That was asked in our AHA board as well, where a lot of our users and our customers were asking for Safari support. That is now available with iFile release. So again, what you're going to see with iFile release is, along with 12, we are enhancing the whole user experience, sort of giving you a very easy one-click frictionless meetings and chat experience that you can customize. You can use it the way your users would like. Few screenshots I wanted to remind again from 12. If a lot of you have already, I think, used 12, you are already familiar with these, what we've done, meeting modes, meeting reports, restricted meetings where nobody can enter that meeting unless you add them, sort of build an HCL for your meetings. Click to call was one of the popular enhancement requests that was added in 12 as well. Again, a lot of things that happened in 12 are being carried over in 1201 now and being enhanced with more and more user controls. I do want to pick on this customizing your meeting experience theme here, because this is really something I get a lot of feedback on, that how great the experience has been with the 3 modes we have provided. And our goal here is to give you a flexible, a fully customizable meetings experience where you as a user can decide whether you want sort of an open meeting where everybody can come in and collaborate, or do you want to lock it down to have some sort of confidential info. The big takeaway I want you to take from this slide is all these settings that you see here, a user can control this, and on the other side, admin can control this. So it could be, you know, maybe your organization does not want to allow guests for meetings because of some compliance requirements. An admin can go in and configure the server and not allow any guests in any meetings. Maybe you want to allow dial-in for every meeting by default, right? Maybe you want telephony dial-in option for every meeting. Admin can do that as well. So what you see here is it's a fully customizable, it's a fully flexible user experience as well as admin controls for every meeting. And that sort of carries on with our iFile release as well. One big thing that is honestly, personally, my favorite with iFile that we've done is the conversation filters, the chat filters. That what you see here is they give you sort of a filter on, a search on, where are my one-on-one chats, right? You'll see an icon with unread batch, for example, here. This is our group chat icon and our meeting chats that come from the meeting to your chat client. One of the feedbacks I've had received with 12 was everyone loved how we added meeting chat that comes back into your chat client. But again, it was all lumped into sort of one bucket where it was so hard to find chats from meetings versus group chats. So we have addressed that with what we call conversation filters, where you can easily find your one-on-one chats versus group chats or meeting chats right here from the UI. And of course, we already have the all chats filter, right? If you choose to use that instead, that's already available to you too. So it's, again, a way to easily search your chats, which all of us, again, are in number of chats, and it's can get hard to find and search on, you know, what chats you're looking for here. For the Outlook add-in, again, we had delivered Outlook add-in for the same time meeting Outlook add-in for your Outlook invites with our 12 version back in April. Now with our iFull, we have enhanced the experience even more, where now if you click that add meeting button, it's a single click. Once you install the add-in, it takes less than 10 seconds to install it. And once you have it, you click that button and it adds all your meeting details here. With iFull, we have expanded the experience where you can fully control creating a meeting, adding more controls, what options to turn on or off straight from the Outlook add-in. You don't have to leave Outlook at all if you don't want to manage your meetings, to create your meetings, to edit your meetings or delete your meetings. Everything can be done straight from the add-in. So again, lots of improvements, lots of performance improvements as well in the Outlook add-in area for our iFull release. Other thing that we've done for iFull release is the watch support here. Apple Watch support specifically is what we have right now. Obviously, it will be expanded to more devices pretty soon here as well. But now you can look at your chats, you can reply to chats straight from your watch. And again, this is something that sort of was a missing piece too, in terms of having that instant real-time collaboration these days, where a lot of us are using all these devices, and it's just an easy way to answer and receive your chats right now on your Apple Watch. So that's something that I would love some feedback on as well. Another thing in terms of mobile space, what we've done is what we call push proxy support, and we'll talk a lot more about that too in terms of admin perspective on that. Push proxy support, if you don't have, say, internet access to Apple notification service or Google notification service, you can use that to get notifications on your devices, along with any other same-time notifications that pop up on your device. For example, click to call. What you see right here is a click to call happening on mobile device, and this is the notification you'll see when someone clicks to call you on your mobile. So again, lots of advances in the mobile space as well. And what I wanted to quickly show you is what we have done in terms of the meetings UI here. So let me show you how what we have done in terms of our meeting space. So here's Sue. She's on her meeting, what we call meetings landing page, the same UI that you've seen with 12, where you can create meetings, instant meeting, or join. So she needs to join one of her meetings, her own meetings that she had already created. She would click on that and start a meeting straight from here. And what you notice up there, it is all happening in Safari. So we have added Safari support. You'll see camera, microphone access right there, along with other controls in our pre-join page. You'll obviously see any microphone or camera access icons if you haven't allowed access before. Similar thing what happens in other browsers, and boom, you're in, right, with Safari support added now to the iFull release. Now, once she joins, the couple of things that are my favorite that I use every day for same-time meetings is, looks like she has a waiting room enabled for this meeting. So she is admitting Jessica right there. When Jessica joins, what you see right here is on the left-hand side, you'll see a net meeting duration timer going, right? So that is what we've added here as well with the iFull release, where it's a visual indicator right there, right? How many minutes have passed since the meeting started. Now, since Jessica joined, another thing I want to show you is what we call the network indicator in the meetings. On the right, you see the mute or volume icons that were already there, but that green icon with the connection details is what we've added with iFull, where it gives you connection details for the other participant. Maybe you can't hear them well, you can see the connection isn't good, and they can either switch it or know what to do if it's not great, right? The keyboard shortcuts is the other thing I wanted to show you, where we've added a lot of new shortcuts, which are pretty handy when you are in a meeting. Again, this is something I think a lot of you may or may not know, where if you press the question mark on your keyboard, you will get to see all the shortcuts that are available, whether it's a push to talk using spacebar, another thing to open chat, and other controls. All that can be done using using all these keyboard shortcuts, and we expanded more of these with the iFile release. So that's pretty handy. My personal favorite is the push to talk that I use to mute or unmute myself. So again, please look forward to all these new advancements that we've done with the iFile release from the user experience side. Now, let's talk about admin. So to remind everybody, our focus is how can we give you a secure, a private platform, and that involves administration, right? So what we do with every release is anything we are adding to address admin features, admin functionality, we want to make it customizable, right? Again, not every admin is the same. Everybody has specific requirements, specific config settings that they need to turn on and off. So we give all that control back to the admin, where you can enable or disable the controls, the features that you would like. And you'll see us doing more and more of that in the upcoming releases as well. You know, I've heard from many of you things like quote unquote privacy mode on for every meeting mode. So we are looking into all that with our upcoming releases. How can we give you more control as an admin, as a user, to run your meetings the way you would like? Data privacy, data security, obviously all that is on a top of mind when we talk about any release of Sametime. Another thing that you see here is just to point to one of my favorite things again on the admin side is the Grafana dashboards. We have introduced Grafana dashboards specifically for Sametime data that you can import in your deployments with our iFile release. And that sort of gives you, your admin, right, a real-time picture of what is happening, what's the usage, what are the metrics of the Sametime deployment. And then he can act on, you know, whether there are things that need to be changed or whether there's reports that needs to be created. So it'll give you all those graphs and charts of what's happening real time on your server. So that has been pretty powerful and really something that has come through a lot of you via AHA and other channels back to us. So please do check out our Grafana dashboards that we've created. And just to show you what we've done there is on the right-hand side, you see the meetings dashboard. And by the way, these are fully customizable as well. What you're gonna get from us with iFile release out of the box, once you import those dashboards, you can edit them as you like. You can put anything else you might want to see first instead of what you see here. It is fully customizable, editable, and you can create sort of your own dashboards out of any data that you would like to see here. It's all real-time data to gain visibility into, you know, your usage, your health, your peaks of your deployment. So really powerful tools for the admin here for our iFile release. Let's talk about APIs. So again, yet another thing that we've done with iFile release, we started this journey with our 12 release, where we introduced our API platform. And since then, we have done tons of work regarding expanding that platform, whether it's our REST APIs, JavaScript APIs, it's our what we call our client platform, our widgets. All those things have been expanded with our iFile release. There's a lot of documentation you're going to find on APIs, and I've added this link as well. If you get these APIs out of the box, there's an SDK, a zip file that you can download straight from that link once you deploy iFile, and start playing with them, using them, and embed sort of that chat experience, meetings experience right on your apps. There's widgets, there's core APIs. We have built React-based components that you can plug into your own apps. So please do take a look at that, leverage them, and provide us feedback. If there is anything else you see that you would like, you don't find it here, I would love to have your feedback, and we can obviously expand it more and more as we go along. But in terms of the API platform, we are fully expandable, integrable, and we plan to expand it with every release. But we've come a long way when it comes to APIs, you know, sort of building that REST APIs, the widget, the client platform. with our iFile release. And more to come on that in terms of APIs, where we want to give you an embeddable experience out of the box, where you can put it in your apps. Okay, so what I want to sort of leave you with for Sametime Premium today is, what is it that you should care about, right, for Sametime? Again, this has been our journey. Our 12 was our big release, lots and lots of features and functions were added with 12, and we are expanding it with our iFile release, and a lot more to come beyond iFile as well. For when it comes to Sametime, to me, it's sort of these 4 lanes, right? That how you use the product. Obviously, so first one is all of us are attendees every day. We attend many meetings per day. What I have gotten the feedback from you guys is you want a flexible, a customizable experience, right? It's experience from anywhere, from any device. Just give me sort of what I call a frictionless meetings experience, right? I may be on my laptop chatting or meeting. I need to switch to another device, to my mobile perhaps. All that should be seamless, right? So that is our goal with every release. How can we add more and more features, functionality to make it fully customizable, flexible from attendee perspective? And the next one to me is the organizer of the meeting, right? I'm the owner of the meeting. I need to set up my meeting. I know if this meeting is gonna be fully collaborative, maybe I'm meeting with my internal teams, in which case I want everybody to share, to chat, right, to present screen. All that is sort of what I would like before I start my meeting and when I send a meeting link to my attendees. So again, a fully customizable experience for the meeting owner as well. Maybe I want to add specific moderators. Maybe I want to add a confidentiality mode to my meetings. All that is fully customizable, and you as the organizer of the meeting can control all that. And again, it also comes down to obviously making good security decisions, which our meeting modes already provide you. If you select a confidential meeting mode, for example, it's going to already enforce a password on you. You can make it restricted, right, where maybe it's a confidential meeting and you only want 3 people attending, and you know who those 3 people are, and you can add them to the HCL, and at that point, the URL that is created is only accessible by those 3 people. Nobody else can. And that's sort of another security layer for your meeting. So it all is customizable and all is available to you as the organizer of the meeting. Deployment and admin is another big thing. And this is where I wanted to talk about all that we've done with our iFile release as well. We have made the cloud native experience, first of all, that we introduced for meetings and chat with 12. We have made it even more simplified, right? We have things like where we have for Sametime chat only deployments for Kubernetes for clustering capabilities, right? We've introduced that. Now you can deploy chat only if you like, full-fledged on Kubernetes. We have MongoDB version 6 support. We have Podman support now with iFile release, where you can install Sametime on Podman. That was one of the requests from our customers as well. Another thing we've done with the whole admin and deployment perspective is obviously what the thing about Grafana dashboards we talked about, where you can have metrics and usage right there on the dashboards for your admins. Push proxy support, which is again also goes back to what we talked about in terms of mobile, where some organizations don't have outgoing internet access, right, to APNS, to FCM servers. And if you don't, you can use our push proxy support which was delivered in our iFile release, and you can use that to still get notifications on your mobile. One other thing that comes to mind here is the database utilities you see there too, which again, these are some great tools we've delivered with iFile. Whether it's about an admin who needs to do some name change, right? Maybe a user changed the name, right? And now you have to change it sort of in your LDAP directory. Maybe you need to delete chats for GDPR compliance and other things. all those utilities, the database utilities, are now available using iFull. So again, definitely very powerful tools for admin, and a lot of feedback that I got from our customers, our users, where they're looking forward to these utilities. The last one here is about our buyers. Obviously, again, all the meetings chat platform that we are building, we want to make sure where we are providing you with lower TCO with every release, right? So one thing that comes to mind is about the recorder nodes, for example, what we have done with our iFull release. A lot of server side changes where you don't need to install virtual sound drivers for your recorder pods anymore. You don't have to have any specific nodes for recorders in Kubernetes. It sort of gives you a more dynamic environment. And then our recorder pods, they no longer require a dedicated node pool, which is huge, right, in terms of TCO. So again, all those things are a part of our iFull release, which is going to make your the TCO of your same-time meetings and chat platform even lower. And again, as I think about, what is in it for me if I'm buying this solution, we have chat and meetings, we have an embeddable API platform. Again, there is lots that we are doing with APIs, extending them with every release, and all that is coming to you as one product. And that's, again, something that, I see that buyers are looking for, right? You don't want to go to 3 different vendors to get your chat meetings and APIs that you need for your apps. So our focus, again, remains on providing you a full-fledged collaborative chat meetings, and taking it into a step further and converting it into a full unified collaboration communication platform. So lots to look forward to beyond iFull, as well as we build it on top of all these personas for same time. And this is the resources slide. I will stop here in case people want to take pictures. Definitely please tell us all the feedback on what you see in terms of what we've delivered in iFull. We have our support team, obviously. Please leverage them in case you have any questions as you upgrade to iFull. If you want to learn more about Sametime, you want to try Sametime, we have a sandbox. And in the middle here, I would really appreciate if you can provide some feedback on our APIs as well. There is a survey we have created, and anything you see is useful to you, anything you see that is missing or you may be using in future or thinking about in terms of embedding chat and meetings in your apps, please feel free to fill that survey, and we'll definitely take a look. And if there is anything that we see missing in terms of our API platform today, we will be looking at that, adding that in our later releases as well. So again, please provide your feedback and keep those enhancement requests coming via AHA as well. And I think with that, yep, that's my last slide. Dan, over to you. Let's look at some questions.
All right, thank you, Guinea. I will let you guys know that there is a handout, and if you go under the menu bar, you'll see a Sametime Launch Webinar handout, and that is a PDF copy of all the slides that you've seen today. So please feel free to download that and keep that in case you want to refer back to information. I think we do have a few questions here. So I guess let me, some of these are a little bit more technical. So Tony, have you looked at any of these, and would you like to start with the first question?
Yeah, certainly. So there's a question about recommending the deployment for Mongo, the Mongo database. And the question was whether or not we recommend it to be on a separate server, and or what numbers of users would we think it's better to have MongoDB on a separate server. And so I'm old school. I've been doing this for a long time, and I almost always recommend MongoDB to be on its own cluster or server. And I do that primarily so that it's a prerequisite, right? It's like LDAP in your environment. It's a function that needs to always be there. So I always have it on a separate service so that it can be monitored and maintained separately, and gives a degree of separation between your data and your application. Because you can throw it across the firewall, you can have extra security on it, different things of that nature. But it's certainly not required. So you can also run, like in the Kubernetes environment, there are methods to put MongoDB in your Kubernetes cluster and run it in that fashion. So it really is one of those questions that is up to the requirements of you as a deployer. If I'm in a small chat-only environment and I'm only using it for the persistence features of chat, and I'm not worried about failover and other things, then I might just put it on the community box. If I have a more production enterprise level environment, I'm going to start thinking about it being a service, again, akin to LDAP, where I'm going to have somebody else maintain and monitor that, and I'm going to set it up as a service that's separate from my community servers. So it's really so the answer to the question is, what do I recommend? Let's talk about what your specific requirements are and make it fit what you need for your environment. Because we don't have a hard and fast requirement or guideline for how you should do it for the best way. It's really up to the environment. We have a question based on using Cert Manager for SSL certificate management. And that's one that I unfortunately have to say that we don't currently document or support how you might use Cert Manager in our environments. But it's something that should be done as an enhancement request so that we could look into it as we continue to progress the product.
Thank you, Tony. I think that's all the questions we have for now. If someone has another question, please feel free to type it in at this time and we'll address that.
I do. So while we're waiting for other questions, Dan, I want to reiterate what Guinea was talking about there with the improvements we made to the 1201 or the Eiffel release when it comes to deploying Sametime. We did some workshops at Engage, and there's the HCL Software Academy has a workshop up there for deploying Sametime 12 in a Kubernetes environment. And you can take that or our white papers, and you can have a Kubernetes environment of Sametime up in just a couple of hours, just following that workshop. There's always little gotchas and things to plan out, but we have done our best to make these deployments as simple as possible, and where you can get an environment up and running very quickly. The other great thing we've done with Eiffel is, as Guinea said, we took away two of the biggest PM trouble ticket generators around recorders, no longer having to do all the manual steps to have a recording node up and running so that the recordings work right out of the box. Simplifying the deployment in Kubernetes for recorders is a big win for those that are deploying Sametime. You don't have to think about it as much, and that always helps. The other thing with the Grafana dashboards, I really want folks to catch what we've done there, in that in the prior versions you had to go through a lot of manual setups and configurations and creating these dashboards, and now it is as simple as installing Grafana, which again in Kubernetes or Docker is a very simple command, and then you import these dashboards, and now you have the tools available that you've been asking for. So we do listen to our customers, and we do really want everyone to catch that we are trying to make it easier, as well as giving you all these additional features that you've been asking for since we started with this, and we're going to continue doing that on into the future.
Thanks, Tony. We've had a couple of people mention, why don't we hold our webinars on Sametime? So one of the things, one of the limitations we do have at Sametime is 100 people participating in a meeting. And so for that reason, we choose to use webinar GoToWebinar. and that's the reason right now. So just to address that.
Thanks, Dan. I mean, just to add to that, because I've had, again, going to various user group conferences and AHA requests, there is a demand for increasing that number, and we will be working on that. How do we get you a capability, right, along with our live streaming? We do have live streaming option, obviously, but it doesn't have chat integration, for example. So we are looking into how can we increase this number to give you more attendees in your same time meeting. And I was going to also remind Dane, along with that, what you mentioned, there are other sort of metrics that we need, right, that we don't have quite yet from a same time meeting solution, right? So what we really need to create is sort of a webinar mode for same time meeting where we can add those sort of capabilities and then start using same time for these webinars, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And as someone who uses same time every single day, I love same time. So it's been great. But that's all the questions that I see right now. So
if there are no questions, so let me, I just want to make sure I thank my awesome team here too, my development team, our support team, marketing team, our release management, all our testing teams. They've done a whole lot, and I'm so proud of where we are now with this release, and even started our planning and jumping into our release after this one already, as I speak here. So thank you to all my team here. Thank you to all our customers, all our partners. I do want to leave you with sort of a couple of things. We will do a webcast that is focused, a technical webcast focused on deployment, what we've done with Eiffel. Tony, I'm sure we can talk about great things you just mentioned, right? What we have done in terms of deployment, simplifications, and other things. So please stay tuned for that. Plus, we'll do another webcast very soon here where I'll leave it with you is where we'll talk about interoperability, integrations, a full-fledged UCC platform, how SameTime is that, and how you can use SameTime to, whether it's to integrate with maybe you have video conferencing kits in your conference rooms, or you may have other apps you need to talk to and stay in SameTime. All that is possible with our API, extensible API platform we have. So please look forward to the webcast just focused on talking about all those features and functionality that SameTime brings you.
Well, thanks, Guinea. And again, thanks for joining. You'll get a quick, brief 3-question survey just to give us a little feedback. Would appreciate your feedback on that. So thanks for joining today and have a great week.
Yeah, and I'll just add that tomorrow you'll receive a thank you email for having attended, and there will be a link to the recording of this session in that as well for your reference. So there you go. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and stay healthy. Speak to you guys soon.